Thanks to Youngblood Powersports here in Ozark, Missouri. I get to ride the 2016 Indian Scout for you guys. I'm really excited about doing this first time riding review. Beautiful bike. I've heard great things about the ride, so we're gonna go ahead and see for ourselves. So very low seat height. I'm 5'8", with boots on. My legs are very bent, flat-footed, and I've been working out again. And the reason I'm telling you that is because, so my legs are very tired and feeling weak, but I still feel comfortable getting on this bike, and I feel comfortable with the weight of the bike. I don't know what it's called, but it has to do with the starter, and it takes over for you. Once you hit this button, it will not let you over crank or under crank. So check this out. I'm just going to hit the button for just a split second, and it's going to start up if I turn the kill switch off. You see that? I think that's really cool personally. I really like that. So you don't have to worry about burning your starter up or something stupid like that. I've got an analog speedometer, but I have a digital tachometer. So I actually don't know where this bike redlines. We're not going to try to bang it up against the rev limiter, but let's take off. Okay, so the clutch engages really quickly. Heads up, so I'm not used to cruisers. I've only rode one cruiser before. I'm used to fast bikes, don't get me wrong, but I'm typically riding a super sport, so yeah, different bike for me. Sounds really good though. It's not the loudest bike in the world, but it sounds good. And really, this seating position's very comfortable. Engine braking is very soft. We'll keep checking into that. Okay, I went into that turn really slow because I'm not used to this bike, but it's also got a wide front tire. There's a 130 front tire on this bike. It looks really cool, but I was worried that it would feel a little weird handling, turning. Didn't notice it actually. I'm gonna be nice to it, not gonna go real crazy. But man, I like this bike a lot. I really like the mirror position. I can really see behind me without having to move my arms around, my shoulders. I think they're placed perfectly. And they seem to stay in place pretty well too. Man, I really feel comfortable on this bike, guys. Yeah, 69 cubic inch engine, like 1,130 cc's. Yeah, engine braking is pretty soft on this bike, gotta tell you. Oh yeah! Wow, guys. You always hear cruisers are slow and can't handle. Well, you know what? I don't know what they're talking about when I get on this Indian Scout. I always, when I talk about a hard accelerating bike, I always say that it gives me those, that roller coaster feeling in my stomach. I hold my breath, I kind of tense up. I don't know how high I went in the RPMs. I think I could have definitely got some more power out of the bike. Yeah, engine braking is very soft, even when I downshift and really let off that clutch faster than I would on other bikes. Gets up to speed quick, man. You gotta see, I went a little faster there than I normally would because I wasn't expecting this bike to get up to speed that quick. Dang. Wow. So engine braking is very soft and it's very fast. That's what I've got to tell you so far. And it handles pretty good. We'll get on the highway later too. I actually don't mind the digital tachometer. I thought I would hate it, to be honest. I don't mind it. I still wish I knew where the red line was. Even in the lower RPMs, you know, I've got some decent power. I'm just cruising along. Oh yeah. See ya. It leans fine. I'm not forcing it, you know. I know you guys told me to quit being such a baby about vibrations. Typically, I'm very sensitive to vibrations, so I wasn't gonna say anything about it. This bike actually doesn't vibrate me as bad as a typical bike does, surprisingly. Once I get higher in the RPMs, you know, I start to feel it a little bit through my feet and hands, a little bit in my butt. This bike, Wildfire Red, this is probably my favorite looking color scheme on the Scout out of all the other color options. Man, see, I really like super sports. I'm in a super sport phase, but I love how comfortable I am on this bike. I think it's considered a midweight cruiser. It's 555 pounds, something like that. But dang, it feels good. This, like I said, the seat feels good. I think it looks awesome, that brown leather seat. I was talking to a guy at work. He said he's rode one before. He's a little bigger than me. I am a smaller guy, but he says he prefers, you know, he would want a little bigger seat on it. I think it's perfectly comfortable though. I like it. If you're bigger, that might be something to think about though. Well, okay, I guess I'll put some gas in it for him. Oh well, hopefully I don't run out of gas. This is going to be a very boring vlog if I do. But since we're talking about that, it takes 91 octane minimum. Typically I put, you know, if I'm gonna put premium in my bikes, which I always do, because you know, I know a couple gas stations that don't put ethanol in their premium. It's just what I run through my motorcycles. We've got a 3.3 gallon gas tank, which I'm sure was not filled before I took off. From what I've seen, according to fuely.com, I think is the website, it gets about anywhere from 42 to 45 miles per gallon. It's pretty decent. So you've got about a 120 mile range. So obviously on this bike, you know, it's not real big. You're not gonna take this across the country, but it's not just for riding to work every day either. I would love to take this bike on some longer trips, you know, like down to Arkansas on the nice curvy roads. Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking a trip all day on this bike at all. Yeah, see, it leans real easily. I don't have to throw it over. I don't have to force it. See, I'm not used to being in this seating position while leaning, but it seems like it wants to lean. I could have took that a lot faster, you know, a little bit faster, and I think the bike would have been fine. And supposedly you could really lean this bike pretty far without scraping pegs and all that, which is interesting because as low as this bike is, as low as the seat height is at least. Wow, that paint job, you see it sparkling. Looks so good with that flake in it. I just feel like they really paid attention to detail on this bike. The rims, I really like that look. The engine really stands out to me. Oldest bike manufacturer, motorcycle manufacturer in the United States. Fantastic. Even the little, what do you call it? Even that looks cool. It's not just your rubber little cap like that. 80 cents. Put 80 cents in there for him. You're welcome, Youngblood. Even the key looks cool. There are aftermarket options as far as luggage goes. I'm really surprised with how well this bike just leans over without having to be forced. It feels good, man. I think you can keep up with your friends. I was worried since it's got 100 horsepower, 72 foot-pounds of torque. I thought, you know, beginners can't ride this bike. I actually think you can. You know, lowering the RPMs, you're not, you know, you don't have all that power right away. You know, I think a beginner can try this, but that doesn't mean an experienced rider can't enjoy this bike. I mean, you know, I ride fast bikes, and I'm really enjoying this. I really am. Man, I could have bought one. You can ride a fast bike and then come to this and have fun, because I mean, shoot, it's pretty fast, you know. All right, let's see how it does on the highway. Oh yeah, does very nice. So I'm going 60. And besides this truck with the trailer, but the wind noise isn't really bad, surprisingly, even though he's kind of blowing me around a little bit. I still don't know where this thing red lines. And on these bumps, I'm not really feeling it in my back or my body. Up here, y'all know, like, I like to see what I can do as far as leaning goes. So let's check that out. I love having a gear indicator too. Y'all know I like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised, guys. I'm really impressed. You know, obviously I'm not pushing this bike to its limits. Alright, once you get to 70, yeah, the wind noise picks up. But that's not unbearable. I'm just bringing that up because it's kind of harder to hear me in the mic probably. So we're going to slow down to 60. We've got a bumpy patch up here. I'm really curious to see how this bike feels over this bumpy patch. Dude, not bad, not bad. Actually, it doesn't hurt my body at all. You know, the bike really, really takes the shock out of it. It feels good on the highway. So I'm in 4th gear, you know, going 60 at a lower RPM. It doesn't really vibrate any worse than any other bike I've been on at this speed. Feel it through your feet a little bit, but like I said, I'm real sensitive to the vibrations. You guys will probably hop on and be like, what are you talking about? This bike hardly vibrates. So a 4th gear pull, let's do passing power. I know you guys like me to talk about that. I'm going 60, I'm in 4th gear. I'm at a lower RPM, you know, so let's find out. Yeah, I've got passing power. Maybe if you're on 60, you want to downshift to 30. Because you don't really, I didn't feel that power band until I, you know, I hit like 46, 47, I think is what it said. But I mean, shoot, even in 6th gear, going 65, I twist that throttle. Yeah, I'm at 80, and I'm at the very top gear, so plenty of passing power. I mean, you could probably assume that about this bike, though. So, yeah, there's a bump there, and the bike really absorbs that shock for me. It's not my spine doing it. I like that. So I've heard the front end on this bike is really plush. I haven't noticed it when I've been stopping. Typically when I have a front end that's really soft, suspension wise, when I hammer on my front brake, I just hate the feeling because it leans so far forward, you know. It really dives towards the front. I don't notice it though. So man, I'm really impressed with this bike. I feel like this was made for me. I'm you know, like 150 pounds, 5'7", 5'8". Bike feels terrific, terrific. Man, I could ride this for an hour, and I don't think I'd want to take a break, to be honest. I think I could really go on a longer trip without needing to stop. I mean, besides stopping for gas, you're obviously going to need to stop for gas at some point. Only a 3.5 gallon tank, but you know, hey, at least you're getting 45 miles per gallon. I think the bike sounds good. Obviously, a lot of guys want it to be louder. If you're not wearing a full face helmet like me, you know, maybe you don't like it real loud where you have to wear earplugs. I think it sounds great though. If you want to make it louder, you obviously can. Man, I'm so thrilled to have the opportunity to ride this bike. Thank you, Youngblood Powersports, for letting me take this out for a first time riding review. Beautiful bike. I'm impressed with this bike. Someone asked me once after I did a first time riding review, would you buy the bike? Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely would buy this bike. Something else before I hop off. A lot of bikes, if I didn't ride my bike today because it's black, and also the engine gets really hot, and you know, I just feel like I'm gonna die when I ride it. Riding it, I didn't even notice the heat. You know, it feels like 100 degrees out. Did not notice the heat on this bike. Fantastic, guys. I mean, that surprises me. I guess I have to end this review now, as much as I hate to. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit like if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you want to keep supporting me and you want to keep seeing me do more videos with Youngblood Powersports. And like I said, if you want to test ride this bike for yourself, come down, check it out, or go to whatever authorized dealer is around you. You know, I don't do these reviews to sell these bikes, but you know, personally, I'm sold on this bike. So that's just my opinion. We're all entitled to our opinions. Check it out for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. We'll see you next time.